Hi, my name is Kathleen, and I'm going to share a story with you today. At the end of the story, there will be some questions. You'll know the questions are coming because they'll start with, I wonder. These questions are the kind of questions where there's no right answer or wrong answer. You might hear a question and know what the answer is right away. There might be another question that you have many answers to. And maybe there will be a question you don't have any answers to, or maybe you don't even understand the question quite. All of that is okay. You can say as many or as few answers as you have. If you're watching with someone else, you might even have different answers than they have, and that's okay too. So, let's get ourselves ready to enter the story. This is today's story. You remember that we heard a story in the desert about Abram and Sarai, who became Abraham and Sarah. This is the story of Sarah, from that story of the great family that we heard. Once there was a great city of Ur, and in that city was a girl named Sarai, which means princess. In the same city, there was a boy named Abram. They met and fell in love. They traveled to many new places. God showed them the way. All their lives, they lived in tents. Sarai was beautiful, even when she was very old. Once they went to Egypt, and the king of Egypt, called the Pharaoh, wanted her for himself. When he discovered that she was Abram's wife, he made them both leave. They went back to the land of Canaan, to Hebron, where they pitched their tent for the last time. Abram and Sarai had been married for a long time, but they had no children. God had promised them that they would be the mother and the father of a great family, but how could that be with no children? This made Sarai worry. Finally, she told Abram to take a second wife. Which was a custom in those days. Abram took Hagar, Sarai's helper, for a second wife. When Hagar was about to have a baby, Sarai became angry because she wanted to be the mother. Hagar was afraid, so she ran away into the wilderness. The angel of the Lord found Hagar by a spring of water in the desert and told her to go back. The angel told Hagar that she would have a son and she should name him Ishmael. She went back and Ishmael was born. Many years went by, and God appeared to Abram. God said to him, "We will be together forever." God also blessed Sarai and promised to give her a son of her own. So Abram became Abraham, and Sarai became Sarah. 3 strangers came out of the desert. The strangers said, "In the spring of the year, God will bless Sarah, and she will have a son." Abraham laughed, because they were so old. Sarah, who was standing by the door, laughed too. The strangers heard and said, "Sarah, did you laugh?" And she said, "No." She was afraid for some reason. Sarah did have a son. and they named that son Isaac, which means laughter. Sometime later, Sarah saw Ishmael, Hagar's son, playing with Isaac. She grew angry all over again and told Abraham to send them away. The next morning, Abraham gave Hagar and Ishmael some bread and water and sent them into the desert. When they had nothing left to eat or drink, Hagar put Ishmael under a bush and walked far away so she wouldn't have to watch him die. The baby began to cry, and God heard him. An angel came to Hagar and told her to open her eyes. When she did, she saw a well of water. Hagar and Ishmael drank the water and lived. Their family is still alive today. One day, Sarah watched Abraham and Isaac go away. They were going to Mount Moriah. She watched from inside the tent as they left, and the next day she watched for them again, and the next. A week passed. She wondered if she would ever see Isaac again. Finally, she saw them coming back and went out to greet them. It was good to have them home again. Then, Sarah, full of many years, died, and Abraham buried her in a cave at the end of his new field by the trees. Isaac married Rebekah, and they had twins, and the great family began to grow. I wonder what part of this story you liked the best. I wonder what part of this story is the most important. I wonder what part is about you, or is especially for you. I wonder if we can leave out any of the story and still have all that we need.